arrest me. I don't want us to have. I told you where the vehicle is.
The truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, giving us this sense of promise, we don't want.
For this special inauguration, it's a task that we need to handle carefully. We need peace in our land, and while this assignment is being carried out, we have to carry it out with the fear of God.
I know security is one of the pillars of your 5-point agenda. And we all know one of the causative factors of insecurity in Nigeria as a whole, not only at those is this farm-sector crisis like you earlier mentioned.
Edo State House of Assembly expresses concerns over killings in Ikbeshi, Akoko Edo local government area, summons groups involved in community unrest.
So please invite both factions to meet in the house. Let us know what is
Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa and the Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun has assured residents of Yelewata of adequate security.
Fired for almost 5 hours. They met a stiff resistance here from the police.
They have killed 3 persons in a house. That was the starting of the massacre.
The entire Nigerian communities are with them. When these bandits will come to operate as they used to, and they will never return.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on our main news today. I am Evelyn Izzy. Welcome. Edo State's Governor Senator Monday Okwevelu has inaugurated 2 critical committees aimed at tackling pressing issues of security and land disputes in Edo State. The newly established Livestock Control Committee and Boundary Committee, which underscore the governor's commitment to ensuring peace, stability, and development across the state. BeeTv News' best orator has the report.
Governor Monday Okwevelu inaugurated the Livestock Control Committee with a clear mandate to bring an end between herders and farmers. General Sesi Esekagbe retired, will chair the 27-man committee with other members including Dr. Ernest Afolabi Umahie, Charles Owome, Mr. Alex Ojegbai, Comrade Saturday Okwahwa, Samuel Arobome, Sivinus Bawa, Dr. Osaige Abwedefe, SP Enareme Sunday, Honorable Moses Edo, Honorable Haruna Mohammed, Dr. Tony Ikpasaja, Oba Palace Representative, Onoje Ofuzeha, His Royal Highness Moses Akpamuka, amongst others, while Mrs. Diana Emega Idahosa will serve as the secretary. During the inauguration, Governor Monday Okwevelu emphasized the gravity of the assignment. He stated that they have to carry it out with the fear of God so that they can have the best time and result as it relates to herders clashes in the state. The governor expressed optimism that they are going to achieve results since the committee have people with a wealth of experience.
For this special inauguration, it's a task that we need to handle carefully. We need peace in our land. And while this assignment is being carried out, we have to carry it out with the fear of God so that we can have a very good result. Most especially at this difficult time, people with experience are here. I see former Permanent Secretary Agriculture. Permanent Secretary Agriculture is also there, and other people, the General Secretary, and many others. So I believe that with God on our side, we achieve our purpose.
In his acceptance speech, Chairman of the committee, General Sesi Sekagbe retired, acknowledged the significant responsibility placed upon the committee. He said the terms of reference are very clear, and it is a reflection of one of the governor's high points when he was coming into office as governor, because security is one of the pillars of Governor Okpebholo 5 points agenda. He outlined the committee's specific terms of reference, which include regulating the movement of livestock within the state, inspecting, certifying and registering all ranches, controlling the activities of cattle herders within various communities, providing security reports to the governor on the activities of cattle and the livestock farmers within designated ranches area, and determining and recommending permit fees and renewal fees for cattle and livestock herders and owners.
The terms of reference are very clear, and it's a reflection of one of your high points when you were coming into be the governor of Edo State. I know one of the pillars of your 5-point agenda, and we all know one of the causative factors of insecurity in Nigeria as a whole, not only Edo State, is this farmers' header crisis like you earlier mentioned. And it's coming at a very right time when you are trying to reorganize and restructure security in Edo State. And they are as follows. We are to regulate the movement of cattle and other livestock in the state. We are to inspect, certify, and register all ranches in the state. To control activities of cattle herdsmen within the various communities in the state.
Governor Okpebholo also inaugurated a high-power boundary committee, signaling a decisive move to address persistent boundary disputes affecting communities within Edo State and those bordering neighboring states. The governor underscored the urgency of these committees' mandate to handle the boundaries issues between Delta, Ondo, and Kogi states.
We have 3 neighbors. We have Ondo, we have Delta, we have Kogi. So they are not restricted just to one particular zone. For this reason, I think the people standing before me are the best people to do this job. That is why we nominated you. And I pray God will give you strength to do this for the betterment of Edo people.
The boundary committee is chaired by the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Right Honorable Dennis Dahosa. Members of the 14-man committee include Dr. Samson Raphael Osagie, Edo State Commissioner of Police, Monday Agbanika, Mr. Isaac Chikere, MC Moyi, Sovio Henry Agedo, Sir Lucky Esegbe, Engineer Emmanuel Kwebo, Honorable Paul Hombamu, a representative of the Oba of Benin, Honorable Patrick Abahiagbo, Honorable Abbas Brahima, and Honorable Patrick Ihariale. Sovio Zigbo Sayende Duke, we serve as the secretary of the committee. Responding on behalf of the committee, Chairman and Deputy Governor of Edo State, Right Honorable Dennis Dahosa, expressed gratitude for the opportunity and pledged the committee's commitment to its crucial task. Honorable Dahosa, who highlighted the committee's objectives, said the committee will strive to carry out their mission, which is to ensure accurate boundary demarcation, promote peaceful coexistence among communities, and foster development in the areas affected by conflict while collaborating with all stakeholders and actively engaging with citizens in fulfilling the mandate.
Mr. Governor, I want to thank you for this opportunity. I am deeply honored to accept the responsibility to serve as chairman of newly inaugurated board. On behalf of all members of this committee, I wish to express our sincere gratitude and acceptance of these responsibilities, which we pledge to discharge in fairness, transparency, and integrity. This committee will strive to carry out our mission, which is to ensure accurate boundary demarcation, promote peaceful coexistence among communities and foster development in areas affected by conflict.
He said the establishment of both committees on the same day underscores Governor Okpebholo's holistic approach to addressing critical challenges facing Edo State, aiming to foster an environment of peace, security, and sustainable development. Best Orator reporting for BeeTv News.
The Edo State House of Assembly has expressed deep concerns over the killings and crisis in Ikbeshi community in Akokwe, the local government area of Edo State. BeeTv News State House correspondent Osargi Agbobo reports that the lawmakers condemned the unrest in the community, reportedly sparked by chieftaincy and revenue collection disputes, and summoned groups involved to appear before the House.
At the resumption of plenary session on Tuesday after a 2-week recess, the lawmakers expressed displeasure over the killings and unrest in the Ikbeshi community in Akoko Edo local government area of Edo State. The crisis, reportedly caused by chieftaincy and revenue collection disputes, prompted the lawmakers to summon the groups involved through the member representing Akoko Edo Constituency 2, Donald Okogbe, to appear before the House.
Not right now, but killings going on now in Ikbeshi by two rival groups of that same issue. Whether it's on land, don't know. So I want to appeal to the honorable member representing Akoko Edo 2, because Ikbeshi is constituency. So please invite both factions to meet with the House. Let us know what is bringing about taking lives of human beings as we live.
In another development, the lawmakers adopted the third session and fourth quarter business calendar with 10 sitting days in the month of June, 23 days in July, and 21 days in August, with a total of 54 days.
Therefore, a total of 54 days is proposed for our business calendar. So I hereby, Mr. Speaker, to adopt this calendar for operation in our business for the first quarter of this year.
At this next session, first quarter calendar, that's one of the parties knowledge adopted by this assembly. We say, those again, say, I have it.
Also, the lawmakers considered and adopted the report of the Joint House Committees on Health and Education on a bill for a law for the establishment of St. Matthew Royal College of Nursing Science, Edenu, Iwa, Edo State. Similarly, the Health Assembly adopted the report of the House Committee on Rules, Business and Government on the screening of the Executive Chairman of Edo State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB. Meanwhile, 4 letters from Governor Monday Okpebholo addressed to the House came through its first reading, which include a bill for a law to establish the Edo State Parks and Guarding Agency for Connected Purposes 2025, a bill for a law to repeal the Edo State Sanitation and Pollution Management Law 2023, and to enact a law to provide for the Sanitation, Pollution and Waste Management Law in Edo State, and for connected purposes, a bill for a law to provide for the protection of government property, establish the Edo State Property Protection Committee, and for other matters connected therewith, and a bill for a law to repeal the Edo State Private and Health Facilities Prohibition Law 1984, provide for the regulation of the healthcare facilities related services in the state, and establish the Healthcare Regulation and Monitoring Agency, EDOAMA, and for other matters connected therewith. Osaroge Agwebo, reporting for BeeTv News.
Members of the public in Benin City have listed community policing, improved funding for security agencies, and rapid employment opportunities as some of the effective measures to improve national security in the country. This recommendation is coming against the backdrop of recent killings in Benue State. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe has more.
The security situation in Benue State, where over 200 persons were reportedly killed, properties destroyed, has raised concern from all over the country on the security situation. Here in Benin City, members of the public are profiling solutions in improving the national security. The respondent said security agencies attached to VIP should be reduced because there are not enough security personnel to protect the citizens in the country, and that the government should increase funding for security agencies to bolster security for the country and community policing to protect citizens living in communities. The respondent said the citizens must also provide useful information to security agencies to help them address the security challenges in every part of the country.
These killings all over the country is regrettable. The government is not doing enough. The government too should also stand up and do more to protect the people. You can imagine what happened in Benue recently, what happened in Plateau State. Even here in Edo State, the same thing, killings everywhere. So we need to put a stop to it.
If we have leaders, that are working, doing their work fervently, we won't have insecurity. Please, Mr. President and all the security agents, look into it. It's not only in Benue, even in Plateau, Jos, Taraba, Zamfara. Many of them are battling this insecurity. And if our leaders will put hands together and join, get a force, what's our military doing? If we have military that are working, the military are ready to do the work, but it seems the orders they are hearing from above is not letting them do their work.
The government can see just prove a lot of employment. I think the boss can see one or two things they do.
Our capable armed forces, especially the military, the permission to do their work, equip them, and seek the counsel for our father, like my pastor and the rest, Pastor Clay and all of that. They have to play. This insecurity, for me, is not just physical, it's also spiritual.
Security of lives and property is the responsibility of any government, and the citizens are optimistic that the government will live up to such expectations. Freeman Usawi reporting for BeeTv News.
Residents of Federal Estate Road in Iduwe Ehige community of Benin Awushi Road in Owowo, the local government area, have passionately appealed to the Edo State government to urgently fix their road, which has been ravaged by gully erosion. BeeTv News Osarigwe Agbo reports that the residents stated that the road condition is deteriorating rapidly due to the rainfall and might soon become impassable.
Now, they did not inform him that some people are coming, and besides, today, on the norm self, he's not supposed to be here. Today is his work free day because today is public holiday. Okay. On the not be say, today is people are not supposed to work because today is public holiday. On the road, if there's a security post, it will say, yeah, get gate. They're supposed to even lock the gate upstairs.
That was the situation at the housing estate in Iduwe Ege community along Benin Auchi Road, where the new school was denied access into the estate by individuals who claim to be security operatives overseeing the estate. Their actions suggest that they have something to hide. The crew observed that the estate was deserted and overgrown with tall grass 3 years after its inauguration by President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by then Minister of Health Dr. Sergei Iyaneri, under Governor Obaseki's administration as Governor of Edo State. In an interview with some residents of the area about why the estate was still unoccupied, the residents said they do not know why the estate is wasting away, but revealed that the estate had become a hub for criminal activities, especially during late hours where criminals hide inside the buildings to carry out their nefarious activities.
This one where they talk now, if you reach 7 o'clock for there, you pass and the people they don't say they rob. How said you carry money or will not be passed there. Without say we not go follow long journey enter house. The estate now we not even see people for there. We say by now people they live for that estate. They don't do and finish. Boy, all blocked up. They inside. So may they come, may people if not to rent and they want to do one, may they do one, may that place. In the night now, one of they pass there because nobody dates here. It's they lowly. So may they do one, maybe some people go there that estate. Then from there, the government people will see they look here, they will do one.
They're not being the builder. I don't tell where they build them. Nobody they say. If they go agreement person go they say for free. Me for go there. They not agree make person stay for free. Make they come put people because for that place now you not fit enter that road for night because if they stay there, they rob people.
The residents who said they are now afraid to enter their streets at night appeal to the government to come to their rescue and occupy the estate to prevent it from being used as a criminal hub.
Since when they just talk and finish, even the place now people not see us enter. They don't only just build the place now. They not even people. The place can't be like a abandoned project. They not the feel pass them again. Nobody there. If you even go there now, nobody. Even the house, if they say the house, they talk safe. If you come, they say a bear moon and poor person, that they sleep around us.
The residents of this area are worried about the estate that was inaugurated over 3 years ago, but remains unoccupied. They are calling on the government to occupy it as it has become a hub for criminal activity from the Itume community along the Benin Auchi Road. Reporting from BeeTv.
As the rainy season sets in, many sellers are experiencing a noticeable decline in customer patronage. They attribute this drop to the unfavorable weather condition that sometimes keep buyers indoors. Citizens have also shared their views on how the season influences their spending habits. BeeTv News correspondent Faith Okisame brings us the full report from both the sellers' reaction and the general public's approach to spending during the raining period.
You spend more, but they say save for the rainy day. You understand? Because during rainy season, you work less.
June usually brings wet and rainy days, which most times affect social economic activities. Some respondents said that the cold and damp conditions discourage the consumption of chilled beverages and lead them to cut back on spending. Others, however, did not link their spending behavior strictly to the weather. In contrast, one of the respondents noted that the rainy season usually prompts him to spend more, especially on food, because of staying indoors and craves meal that suits the weather.
It affects now. The rain they fall, they affect customer. Customer no fit buy something. Sometimes no market, sometimes market they go also do a market today.
Okay. We don't used to sell market well in rainy season, but we prefer dry season because we don't sell many things in dry season. But sometimes like rainy season, we sell cold drinks in dry more than rainy season.
You see, there must be a little difference between spending rainy season and the dry season. Like rainy season now, you know, you need to have something like tea in the morning, you understand, compared to dry season, you understand. You want to take pepperish food, those are some little difference. And maybe at times the rain will keep you inside. You know, the time you're supposed to go out, the rain can keep you inside. And by so doing, you know, you take more food inside. The rain will not allow you to go out most of the time you want to go.
Meanwhile, local sellers voiced their frustration, expressing dissatisfaction with the low turnout of customers. Many said that rainy days often result in significantly reduced sales. Some respondents stated that the rainy season has led to decline in sales. One vegetable seller further explained that purchasing and selling vegetable is usually not an easy task.
They are market now. They are fake. This time, no, we supposed to come by this time. Supposed to come since now. Then, cause I mean, no, the go farm, go buy leaf. No make them. They are fake. Way.
Faith Okisame reporting for BeeTv News.
The 75th birthday celebration of Reverend Dr. Matthew Okwevelu and the 29th anniversary of the Matthew Okwevelu Foundation has climaxed at a well-attended Thanksgiving service at the Church of God Mission International Uromi headquarters, where the celebrant, joined by family members and friends, offered thanks to God for another successful celebration. BeeTv News Efosa Priya reports that guests from all walks of life and indigents across Asa land were in attendance. The report is presented by Esohe Osewengi.
For Lawrence's birthday, if he was not in church this morning,
he would have lost her.
Reverend Dr. Matthew Barilo and members of his family, joined by other prominent personalities who came from far and near, converged at the Church of God Mission International, Uremi headquarters, to identify with the celebrant and thank God for the impact that Reverend Dr. Matthew Barilo has made in the lives of others. The Thanksgiving service attracted the presence of the Onoje of Igwebe, the Onoje of Eru, Onoje of Uremi, representative of the ASMR of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Saburi Igbenadia, SSA to the Governor, Mende Barele on Christian and Religious Matters, representative of Benson Idahosa University, bishops, among others. In a sermon titled Pathways to Success, delivered by the daughter of the celebrant, Reverend Mrs. Eroron spoke on the patience and consistency of the celebrant and how he has worked diligently to attain achievement, making a global impact in every aspect, building a career on the patience, resilience, and consistently applying and relying on the Word of God.
Let people pray a prayer for you that because of what you did for them, and they are praying for you. They are praying for you. Do you know what those prayers can do? I know a lot of people who pray for Daddy. And the prayer of us is reaching the rest of us, because they will pray for him, and they will pray for his children, and they will pray for his grandchildren. So it's trickling down from one generation to another generation.
Some of the attendees related their experience how the frontline businessman and philanthropist, Reverend Dr. Matthew Barilo, has affected their lives positively. The church members witnessed the award of scholarship to a member of the choir, as well as the donation of the sum of 2 million naira to the church by one of the guests as his birthday gift to the celebrant, and stated how God used Dr. Matthew to uplift him years ago.
Did you finish primary school?
Yes.
Okay, so as far as he wants to go, whatever university you pick, but my friend here, I told you he was bigger than me, so I can't do nothing for him. But I'll give you 200,000.
Thereafter, the celebrant, family members, and others danced to the altar to show gratitude to God. In an interview, the celebrant and his wife, Reverend Dr. Matthew Barilo, expressed their gratitude and appreciation to God for witnessing another impactful year in the service of God and humanity.
For me to attain this year and be relevant all this year, God is truly involved in my life. The man to start for 75 years in one community and is making wave. Only God. That can only be God.
And God Almighty has always been there for us, and He will continue to be there for us. I also thank all those who came to honor us, to celebrate with us, because God is involved.
Of the celebrant residents, guests, and dignitaries who came to felicitate with them were treated to a lavish reception. The reception also witnessed the unveiling and launching of the book written by Barrister Chima Cliff Chima, titled A Handbook of Humanity, in honor of the celebrant, as well as a cutting of the 75th birthday cake.
By Mr. and Mrs. Bonome Breeze. Please let's put our hands together. You and a resounding S. Jesus! Look this way.
Many described Reverend Dr. Matthew Barilo as a God-fearing and a kind man who has touched many lives, saying that he is worth celebrating.
I just want to tell Daddy that I'm going to do all that he has taught me, the ones that I've done before, and the ones that I'm going to keep doing from now on, in the name of Jesus, and that God will bless him, give him more years in good health, in Jesus' name. And how he has impacted lives of people, especially this past few days. Every year he
rich, but very accessible, and he gave me so much advice talking with him. So that's what I put together in the book, that others might learn in this age of selfishness. People can read about him, how he has helped a lot, millions of people.
I want to wish him long life, prosperity, continuous wealth, strength to be able to give more to more people, to reach more people, because that's all he thinks about and he does.
The Thanksgiving climaxed the week-long activities. Sohe Osemeki reporting for BeeTv.
The senator representing Abia North, Orji Uzo Kalu, with his host, Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State, have inaugurated the newly constructed Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development and renovated Zamfara College of Arts and Science, both in Gusau, the Zamfara State capital. The former governor of Abia State, who is in a different party with his host, says he is not in the state to play politics, but to commend the giant strides made by the governor.
Play politics for APC or PDP. The governor is doing what the president gives the money to do. He's doing exactly what President Tinubu will want to see. And I want the governor to invite President Tinubu here to see by himself what he's doing. Remember, this governor said yesterday that he's owing nobody. He has not borrowed from anybody.
It's about building society. That was the promises we made to people during the campaign, and I'm happy to say that we are fulfilling those promises. You are here, and you've seen the kind of development in the area of education, in the area of health, in agriculture, as well as other sectors, infrastructure. We're doing so much. I mean, like I say, you're the witness. So I believe
President Bola Tinubu will travel to Benue State on Wednesday, 18th of June, as part of renewed efforts to foster peace and address the persistent conflicts affecting communities there. The president has rescheduled his official visit to Kaduna State. President Tinubu's visit to Benue State aims to assess firsthand the crisis that has claimed numerous lives and caused significant destruction. In preparation for the visit, President Tinubu has already sent the secretary to the government of the Federation, the Inspector General of Police, heads of intelligence agency and National Security Advisor, and the chairman of the Senate and House of Representative Defense Committees to Benue State. The president is expected to hold a town hall meeting with all stakeholders during the visit.
Of the Benue people, I've spoken to the governor. The leadership and people of Benue should accept our condolences and tried hard, very, very consciously, to maintain peace, harmony among themselves. I will adjust my program and go see Benue people on Wednesday.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, have assured residents of Yelewata of adequate security after attacks that claimed more than 100 lives. #Yelewata attacks. He stated this during a visit to the scene of the killings in Benue State. BeeTv News' Harmony Agbafo has details.
The military and the police have launched a joint cross-border manhunt for the gunmen who killed around 200 villagers in Yelewata, Guma local government area of Benue State on the night of Friday, June 13th, 2025. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa and Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun arrived in Makurdi and Yelewata on Monday to coordinate the operation that would target the suspected killers. Musa, after assessing the carnage, vowed to take the battle to the terrorists by changing the military strategy to fit the situation on the ground. However, given the manner of the attack, he expressed concerns that the attackers are operating with help from within the community. The CDS also acknowledged the porous border between Nasarawa and Benue states and promised to meet with the Nasarawa state governor to discuss how to tackle the challenge. While urging the youth to support the military, Musa sought support from every Nigerian too.
We're here to ensure that we address such. From now, I'll be going to see my commanders, and we have to change our strategy. We want to look inward and see how we can address it. But like we mentioned, we cannot do it alone without the community, without the state. We need everybody to be part of it. And so I've discussed with the communities, the traditional rulers, with the clergy, for us to work united.
It is not just an attack on the people of Benue State. It's an attack on the entire nation. And we are not going to accept it. The people of this community are not alone. We are with them. The entire Nigerian communities are with them. When these bandits will come to operate as they used to, and they will never return.
Local residents narrate theoretical ordeals on the hands of the attackers.
Fired for almost 5 hours. They met a stiff resistance here from the police.
They have killed 3 persons in a house. That was the starting of the massacre. Yes. So as that happens, then we are afraid. And that was at my own personal area. My family members affected, there are 5.
Amnesty International and local official reports say that at least 100 residents were killed, dozens remain missing, and hundreds nursing gunshots and burn wounds after attackers set houses ablaze through the early hours of Saturday. Local police confirmed the raid but have not issued a final casualty figure, while emergency workers say many victims, internally displaced, people who had taken refuge in the village after earlier attacks. The Benue state government has launched a manhunt, but residents fear reprisals as the rainy season, peak period for disputed grazing and planting, sets in. Harmony Agba for reporting for BeeTv News.
The Minister of Steel Development, Shaibu Abubakar Audu, recently hosted stakeholders of the All Progressive Congress in Kogi State at his country home in a full government area. The interactive session focused on showcasing the remarkable achievements of President Bola Tinubu's administration and also ring grassroots support for his 2027 re-election bid. Speaking to his constituents, Mr. Audu highlighted the bold reforms and development strides made over the past 2 years. He also emphasized President Tinubu's commitment to tackling Nigerians' pressing challenges and boosting the...
And every politics is local, so I came to my constituency to brief them. And as you can see, they've been extremely delighted with the feedback they got. The employment opportunity Mr. President has created, most of the job opportunities, they are feeling the impact of Mr. President. Tinubu is Kogi and Kogi is Tinubu. That is why the President has appointed myself as the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from Kogi State to oversee the rehabilitation of Ajokuta, and we are doing a tremendous job. The journey has started and we'll be able to turn Ajokuta and deliver results very quickly.
Respondents in Benin City have appealed to the relevant authorities to promptly evacuate the waste bin across the city center to avoid spillover, thereby littering the environment. BeeTv News Freeman Osawe has more.
The provision of the waste bins in strategic locations across the city center has helped to reduce indiscriminate street dumping of waste. However, some of the bins are filled up and even dropping off owing delay in evacuations, thereby leading to spillover and littering the environment. Some respondents in Benin City, though, commended the government for providing the waste bin, however, said cleanliness is next to godliness and therefore appealed for prompt evacuation of the waste to avoid health hazard. The respondent said timely evacuations will also keep the environment clean.
So the state government should ensure that there is prompt monitoring of the waste container itself for proper and adequate evacuation, so that you not to the issue of odor, which is another harm to the society.
Government, we have to tell them or remind them, not that they don't know, we have to remind them, our citizens, enlighten them more on how to dispose waste appropriately.
As you see now, the way to the food they put it through is no good. So as the time I suppose they like half before environmental people come take out, because as the food they throw, I be like to go to the smell. You understand? So everybody they pass this Rigo. Rigo is a very popular house, they perceive.
It is the expectation of the public that authorities in charge will do the needful at the appropriate time. Freeman Osawe reporting for BeeTv News.
The governor of Edo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, has expressed his administration's dedication to fostering sustainable development, inclusivity, and improving the lives of citizens in oil-producing communities. The governor made these remarks during the inauguration of the newly constituted board of the Ondo State Oil-Producing Areas Development Commission. The reports.
It was a full house at the dignitaries and stakeholders gathered together for the inauguration of the newly constituted board of the State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission. While inaugurating the board members, Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa reaffirms administration's commitment to sustainable development, inclusivity, and improving the living standards of the people in the region. He urged the new board to put collective interest above personal gain and collaborate closely with the state government and key holders to implement impactful and sustainable development projects. Governor Ayedatiwa emphasized that the board has been empowered to take bold steps and strategic actions in executing its mandate.
The Superdec law as amended reflects our firm belief that development institutions must evolve to meet the rising expectations of the people. It streamlines governance structures, includes financial oversight, clearly defines operational responsibilities.
The chairman of the commission assured that the commission will align its efforts with the state government to deliver rapid and tangible developments to oil-producing areas.
To pledge our support under your leadership and to say that we are laying under authority. We cannot act on our own. You have started with us your vision of transforming Nigeria.
Okisame Faith reporting for BeeTv News.
Nigerian imported crude oil worth of 1.19 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2025, making it the country's third most imported commodity, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. Let's join BeeTv News for details and more from the business world.
The item listed as petroleum oil and oil obtained from bituminous minerals crude accounted for 7.7% of total imports, trailing gas oil at 183 trillion and motor spirit at 176 trillion. Despite being Africa's top oil producer, Nigeria's dependence on imported crude is attributed to inconsistent domestic supply to local refineries. The report highlights growing reliance in imported feedstock due to unreliable domestic crude allocation, raising concerns about the country's refining capacity and oil sector reforms. Benue State recorded the sharpest decline in food inflation nationwide in May 2025. falling to 22% year-on-year from 51.8% in April, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. The 57.53% drop came despite ongoing violence in the state. Month-on-month, food prices rose by 4.1%, while headline inflation stood at 25.9% year-on-year and 3.1% month-on-month. The report was released following coordinated attacks that killed about 200 people and displaced hundreds in communities Yelewata. President Bola Tinubu postponed a planned trip to Kaduna and announced a visit to Benue on June 18th to assess the situation. The Lagos State House of Assembly has summoned Uber, Bolt, InDrive, Rider and LagRide for a public hearing following a petition by drivers alleging unsafe practices, unfair pricing and labor rights violations. The hearing is scheduled for Tuesday, June 17, 2025. The petition, filed by the Amalgamated Union of App-Based Transporters of Nigeria, accuses the companies of regulatory non-compliances, corporate negligence, and harmful data practices. The union is demanding daily payments, insurance coverage, and better trip access in underserved areas. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned Precious Williams, Glossolalia Nigeria Limited, over an alleged 13.8 billion Ponzi scheme. Williams appeared before Justice S.I. Mack of the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt on a 14-count charge bordering on conspiracy, fraud, and money laundering. The EFCC alleged that she received and laundered funds linked to Maxwell Chizi Odum, founder of the defunct MBA Trading and Capital Investment Limited, who remains at large. Williams pleaded not guilty. The EFCC opposed a bail application, calling it premature. Justice Mark ordered a remand at the Port Harcourt Correctional Centre and adjourned the case to June 17, 2025 for the hearing of the bail application. And that is all on the business news segment for tonight. I am Soher Osemeki reporting for BeeTv News.
And now to the global scenes, where Sudan's war remains in a destructive stalemate, with neither the army nor the RSF gaining the upper hand. Also, G7 leaders urge de-escalation but stop short of calling for Israel-Iran ceasefire. BeeTv News correspondent Harry Agbafo has more on this and from the foreign scene.
Sudan's war remains in a destructive stalemate, with neither the army nor the RSF gaining the upper hand. The military briefly recaptured parts of Khartoum using new weapons, but the RSF responded with drone attacks, allegedly backed by the UAE. The conflict has spread south, forming new alliances like the RSF sparked with the SPLA North. Fierce fighting in North Darfur has caused famine and raised fears of ethnic reprisals. Civilians united in peaceful revolution are now fragmented, with aid cut off after the U.S. ended USAID under President Trump. In Canada, leaders called for de-escalation in the Middle East and ceasefire in Gaza, but stopped short of addressing the growing conflict between Israel and Iran. President Trump abruptly left the summit, citing urgent matters in Washington, though he denied it was related to a ceasefire. His earlier warning for Iranians to evacuate Tehran fueled speculation about possible U.S. military involvement, which officials denied. Dr. Salvador Plasencia has agreed to plead guilty to 4 counts of distributing ketamine, a charge that could lead up to 40 years in prison. He is accused of supplying actor Matthew Perry with ketamine beyond his prescribed dosage. Perry, who was open about his struggles with addiction and depression, was found dead in his hot tub in October. Suspected Perry with the drug at his home and elsewhere, and sold extra vials for personal use. And that is all from the global scenes. Harmony Agbafo reporting for BeeTv News.
Nigerian comedian Wole Arole is facing widespread criticism following a controversial post on Instagram where he condemned women who choose surrogacy